What's up, everyone? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with a video. Now, I want to say yesterday I did a reaction video for the 007 First Light gameplay reveal, the state of play that they had. And for the most part, I think I was relatively impressed. Like the way the game looks. I like the way the game played. It seemed like it was, bringing us back to that, I don't know, that third person, action adventure stealth, but more so adventurous action, multiple ways to play. Reminded me a lot of what you would get in like Uncharted and what you would get in what we got in Star Wars Outlaws. And I really, really like Star Wars Outlaws. But after the state of play, there was a lot of like criticism. People are complaining about frame rates and, performance. People are complaining about, oh, this is just a Hitman with James Bond skinned. And it had all this. It's like, this is why I don't like gaming journalism. This is why I don't like gaming critics. I don't like gaming as journalists. See, the thing is, and people be like, I do reviews and talk about games, but I'm talking about it from a gamer's perspective, from somebody who just like video games, right? What we got now, like people try to treat video games like where it's just a bunch of word salad, right? When I'm thinking about games, the thing about video games, right? And think about, like, say, music, right? Is it good? Is it not? Is this my type of music, right? Movies, it's either, there's so many different genres of movies. Something's your type, something's not, right? So, general opinions really kind of don't do it. The thing about movie reviews, they have all these elegant, delicate word salad to try to like tell you if the shit is good or bad, or like, why this is bad. They choose different things that just doesn't make any sense. So I don't pay attention to movie reviews anymore. Hence why my favorite movies aren't in line with what's actually the best movies are. And same goes for video games. Video games are not being judged on the metrics that it needs to be judged on. Is it fun or not? That's the only thing you really need to know about video games. It doesn't need all this unnecessary bullishness. It's the way the story is told. All these unnecessary things that I'm not thinking about. When I'm playing a video game, I don't need to be emotionally inept for a video game to be good to me. I don't need to relate. I just need to have fun. And what I saw with the 007 game is that when I watched it, it looked extremely fun. I like the way you can know the different decisions that you can do, the different ways you can tackle missions that they displayed. And I know some of them was inspired by Hitman. Of course, the developers of the games are the ones that made Hitman. So they took the best of what they did with Hitman, implemented it in this game. But the thing about this game is different from Hitman. One is James Bond, and is the fact that it's not 100% stealth. You can choose to do different things. They may not be the best route, but there are multiple ways to play the game, and the game looks gorgeous. You know what I mean? Now, as far as performance and stuff like that, frame rate stuff, leave that to Digital Foundry. It's not like, why do you care right now? The game is not due for another 6 months, right? About the performance. Even when they do reviews, performance never actually, unless the game is actually crashing, they never credit performance in gaming reviews. They credit a bunch of unnecessary bullshit, right? A bunch of unnecessary bullshit. I blame video game critics for not enough people trying out Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna tell you guys again, right? Play Star Wars Outlaws for yourself. Now, they updated it and stuff like that and took some quirks out that people didn't like about the game, which I thought was actually fine. But before the update, it was great. And I'm sure after the update, it's even better. But play Star Wars Outlaws. Ignore the reviews. You will have, because at the end of the day, once you you play through Star Wars Outlaws, you'll realize you actually had fun with the game, right? That's the thing about these critics. They're taking all these angles, and what it has done for the community is that now most people that are reacting to video games or looking at video games they have this jaded opinion. It's like, okay, what do you actually want? You know what I mean? What did this game need to do for you to be interested? Because it sounds like a bunch of just repeat stuff. Everybody has the same opinion. Everybody has the same, oh my God, this looks, it's like they're looking for something wrong with the game. But I tell you, like I said, outside of the performance, the game, all the games that have been releasing so far on these next gen consoles, they're using UE5 and all this other stuff. They're all going to have IQ problems, image quality problems, because they're trying to do all this upscaling and stuff like that, maintain resolutions, but with high fidelity detail and stuff like that. And it's just going to happen. So stop being surprised when you see it. Actually, you should be impressed that, hey, this is actually real gameplay. It's showing flaws that typically happens in games I'm playing right now. So you know it's not no tech demo. You know it's not fake. You know it's an actual game being played. But the fact that those criticisms that I've heard, oh, this is just a hitman with 007, like, come on, bro. Like, what's wrong with the game? I really want to know what's wrong with the game. I've watched the gameplay several times over. I like where they're going with this game. I genuinely like where they're going with this game. Now, when the game gets in my hands and if there's no performance mode, I'll probably be disappointed. But at that time, it'd be between me. I either have to decide whether I'm going to play on PC or not. But as far as the game setup, the acting they got, the cast of characters, the missions, the plot line, they showed off like 2-3 different types of missions, and they all seem impressive to me. And I might be biased because I like the games that fall into the Star Wars Outlaws, the Uncharted, the James Bond game looks like the perfect dark game I actually wanted. I know people are crying, oh, Microsoft want to keep the IP and sell it to 2K. I like Perfect Dark, but I much wanted Perfect Dark to be this than what it was going to be if they had ever released it, which was a first person, Mirror's Edge, Dying Light, Mirror's Edge, in like a sci-fi universe, whatever type. I'm pretty sure I would have liked it. But what I really wanted from it, I wanted something like this. So when I started looking at the immediate reactions and immediate responses to 007, and I feel like you guys are doing the game a disservice, and you're also doing the audience a disservice. And it reminded me of how Star Wars Outlaws was treated, and it's the reason why a lot of people didn't experience the game. Star Wars Outlaws, if you could get that game on sale right now, bro, I like Star Wars Outlaws so much. I actually might play it again because I thought I had fun with the game. It was a game where I just enjoyed playing. I enjoyed the mission layouts, going through the different ways to tackle missions, doing the stealth parts. The thing about me, I don't like 100% stealth-based games. I like stealth as an option. I like stealth trickled in. I don't want 100%. That's why I can't play a Hitman or can't play early Splinter Cell games or Metal Gear where you have to 100% rely on stealth, and that needs to be it. Those I don't like. I like it as an option. If I can option stealth through a game, I will do it as an option, knowing that it's not a requirement. It's like playing a racing game and all you have to do is freaking drift. I can do it as an option. I can't play an entire racing game that is drifting only. That would honestly, I wouldn't play it. So I need you critics and you gaming journalists, and to you want to be gaming journalists, back off, because you guys are looking at video games from the wrong lenses. You're not looking at video games for being fun. And that's the thing that sucks. Video games are supposed to be fun. The video games we get now, they're too damn long. They're too damn serious. They become too boring, and I become uninterested in play. I want to have fun. You know what I mean? I want fun. Your game needs to be fun. That's all it needs to be. You know what I mean? Graphics, and performance. Well, performance obviously has to perform, you know what I mean? But graphics is a bonus. Story is honestly a bonus. You want to be, all right, this is engaging. I'm actually interested. But when you try to do all this elegant, delicate, unnecessary stuff to win the hearts of people who write, pieces for the Oscars and the freaking American Music Awards and stuff like that. That's when the game becomes uninteresting and boring and dull, and then it's appeasing to the wrong crowd, and it doesn't get the reviews it needs. This game, First Light, is probably going to be one of those games that get like a 78, but it's probably going to be the best 78 you ever played, because it's probably going to be very fun. It's going to be entertaining. What I don't know, the gaming industry was infiltrated years ago by all the people that lost their jobs, right? All the people that used to write for like newspapers and write for People magazine and all this other crap. They all that social media and Twitter and all that stuff got pretty much eliminated those jobs and the necessary for those things. So they needed to find journalistic roles. So they all went into video games. Now we get all this bullshit. So their opinions are being valued upon like Metacritic and feedback. And it translates to the games that I guess developers are trying to make. And that's why gaming is just like wish-washy. They were reacting to critics, and the critics we got now are boring, and it sucks because everything is trendy, right? Everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be a journalist. I'm telling you guys, I do YouTube, not because I want to be something. I don't want to work in video gaming. I like it as a hobby. I like to be a voice. I like to be an opinion, but I'm not a journalist. I didn't go to school for journalism. That's why I don't have the best reviews when it comes to like, how sophisticated. No, if you want to know a game is fun, I'm going to tell you if it's fun. If I'm going to tell you if I think a game is bad, I'll tell you why I think it's bad. Not because it just didn't move me emotionally. It didn't know. It's bad because it sucks. It's not fun. It's unnecessarily difficult, or the graphics suck, or the gameplay just doesn't work. Now, but if you look at my reviews or my videos on video games, they're mostly generally positive, because I like to talk about things that I like versus things that I don't like. And when I'm talking about things I like, I'm telling you why I like them, but most of it's fun. That's the thing. It's fun. And that's why I get miffed at reviews being like 23 minutes long, bro. I was like, it doesn't take me that long to tell. I'm not giving you a tutorial or a how-to guide or not. Is the game fun? Yes or no, bro? I'm not going to spoil the game for you, but like, the story is this. No, to me, a story can be hit or miss for me, and it won't shake the game if I find the gameplay loop fun. So I think I just want you critics, you journalists, and you guys to stop trying to destroy games, right? Give this game a chance. Let it come out and be what it needs to be. And that's just a fun cinematic experience that you're about to get. Yeah, does it have flaws? Absolutely. But I don't think any of the flaws is going to put me on pause in front of the butt. From what I saw, just those two missions, I was like, yeah, I can do this. This remind me of Star Wars Outlaws. It just seems like they're just, putting their spin on it, because Star Wars Outlaws was a really good game, and I wish that Star Wars Outlaws had an opportunity to get a sequel, and that Ubisoft move forward with it. But no, critics, they suck. They ruin games. They don't give games a chance. Everybody wants them to be every game. Journalists want games to be The Last of Us or God of War, and games don't really need to be that. Different games can exist. Somebody's going to do something great and it'll hit. And some people do average work that's just actually better than average. So a lot of the games I enjoyed this year literally are not the highest, with the exception of Clair Obscur. That's obviously Game of the Year. But most of the games I enjoyed, aren't like, the darlings, you know what I mean? And I know Hollow Knight just came out. Everybody's losing their minds over that. I played that. I'm like, what's the freaking big deal? But watch some shit like that robs Clair Obscur for Game of the Year for really just taking too damn long to come out. But my message to gaming journalists, to gaming critics and stuff like that, the real critics are the actual gamers, the people who actually just like playing video games. The people that are writing up these, hit pieces and these unnecessary word salad previews and reviews, dude, it doesn't, honestly, their opinions don't jive with me. And that's why I can't hold on to those opinions so strongly, because I feel like they miss the point. People are forgetting the point of video games is fun and entertainment. And I think 007 First Light is about to bring that. And I think the journalistic side of it is trying to block that from happening. And when I say they block that from happening, it's not going to delay the game or anything. The game's going to come out, but we're all going at it and we're without any anticipation. So it's going to take one of those people that takes a chance on the game to say, you know what, let me give this a try. And like, boom, voila. this game is awesome, right? And it's going to do that effect. So what journalists do, they pick games that they put super hype on, right? Like the Hollow Knights and all that other stuff, the Baldur's Gates and all that other stuff, right? They put all this unnecessary hype, and the game get high praises, high scores, and the actual community that's playing it hates it. You know what I mean? That's what end up happening, right? But when you get games like these that come out and you're like, extremely interested, some intrigue about it, and it's actually delivering on what it's supposed to do, then it becomes like a niche product, or the loud minority pretty much have to sing the song its praises, because the noise out there dictates pretty much what our opinion is going to be. And I can't let these dudes dictate what my opinion is going to be on the game. Like, you know what I mean? I'm anticipating this game comes out in March. I would day one it, because I think it's that awesome. We don't get enough of these type of games. I don't think enough of these games comes out. There's not enough Tomb Raiders. There's not enough Uncharted. There's not enough, Star Wars Outlaws that come out. So when they come, I got to jump on them. There's a lot of fluff games. There's a lot of samey games. There's a lot of Fortnite games and stuff like that, which I'm sick of or I'm not interested in. But these games that, get the graphics right, they get the gameplay right, they get the, the story and the characters right, everything is, and it just but at the end of the day, it looks fun, because you could have the best actors, you could have the best graphics, and your game could be completely boring, right? That happens, right? There's never a perfect balance, you know what I mean? This one seems like it has that balance, and I'm interested in it, but just the feedback online that people are giving, these jaded opinions, these people looking at games just from the wrong lenses, that they have us looking for different things in games that we typically don't really care about. Talking about performance right now, oh my God, the frame rate, oh my God, the frame rate. Bro, it's going to be all right. All right, guys, man, that's my video for today. Hopefully I'll be streaming this weekend, for sure. And I'm being consistent on the videos, but you guys aren't being consistent with watching them, because none of my videos have hit any of my averages from when I used to do videos regularly. So show up. Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace and love.